Right now, I probably look okay. I am smiling, I'm getting involved, and I'm doing what I need to do. But what you can't see is the effort it took to get here. The noise I'm managing in my head, or how much it can really take out of me afterwards. Because looking okay and feeling okay is not always the same thing. And for me, that is one of the hidden costs of PTSD. I want to show you what it really looks like. Welcome to the Journey Unmasked. If you watched the first video, I want to say thank you very much for coming back. And if this is your first time here, I'm Lee. I'm a veteran, an ex-serving soldier, and I live with complex post-traumatic stress and chronic depression. Although my story begins with military service, I just want to make something really clear. This channel is not just for veterans. You don't need to share my background, my diagnosis, or my experiences to belong here. You may be facing your own struggles, supporting someone you care about, trying to understand how you feel, or simply here to listen. But the good thing is, whatever brought you here, you're very welcome. So I'm back on the footpaths, back in the woods at Veterans in Action. And for short, we'll call it VIA. And known as VIA. So that's where I am at the moment, and the reason I'm here is because it gives me structure and purpose. Just like I said in the first video, explaining a little bit about the channel, and I will be showing you some of that. I thought I'd check and see what the guys are doing. Now what I do know is the track that has been built or laid, there's been a big birch tree, I think it is, that's fell down, or a big spur off of it anyway, and block the path. Now the path needs to be open again soon, as we got an event running here, corporate day. So we'll just go and check and see what the lads have done. So as you can see, got this nice clear path, and you have to excuse the noise because they're working away back there. And what's happened is that birch tree has lost a limb and created a blockage. So they're cleaning all that up. That's the task for today. That's the mission for today. We've got a few lads here helping out, but again, it all gives purpose. We'll come back later and see how they've been getting on. VIA is the setting for today because I love it. It's peaceful, it's quiet. Oh, is that a pheasant? What is that? Oh, if you know what that is, it's a beautiful bird, but I'll let it be. So getting back to that, like I say, so we're in the woods of the VIA. The story itself is really about what people don't see, the preparation it can take just to get through the front door, and what's happening inside my head while I appear to be coping, and the cost that actually can come afterwards. Again, and I have said it before, this is my personal experience. Now, PTSD can affect people in different ways, and I suppose something that helps me may not help everyone. And over the years I've gone through a lot of techniques to try and manage my symptoms, and I manage mine different to others, and that's just how it is. We all react differently. It's kind of funny really, because I'm trying to do this video now and I'm feeling angry today. A scenario happened this morning and I just thought it was bang out of order, not right. I'm not going to go into the scenario. But what it did do is throw me sideways a bit, something I weren't expecting. I was getting ready today to pick up the camera and talk to everyone and give a bit of information. But I just feel, I've got chemicals running through my body right now. And I know that, this scenario has made me mad. Now I'm trying to deal with that and using techniques to deal with that. One of them is talking to you guys through the camera. But wanting to be honest how I'm feeling. I'm not feeling 100% right today. That's just because of someone else's disrespect, someone else's, I don't know, laziness as well. From the outside, people see me, traveling around and filming for Life for Touring and having a laugh with Jodie. And we have some good banter, to be fair. And meeting people, you know, that's part and parcel of our touring channel, and it's great. But and I want to say these moments are real. The smile's real, the laughter's real, and the good days are real. I don't want anyone to sort of look at that and that channel and think, oh, well, it must be fake, because it ain't. I do have real moments in my life. But I suppose what people need to understand is, even though you have these good moments in your life, it does not mean you don't have post-traumatic stress, or it don't mean it's disappeared, because it is possible to enjoy something but to be managing it at the same time. I suppose the two things can exist together. Like sometimes I look calm, like now I'm starting to feel calm, but actually my mind's racing of the scenario that happened this morning. But I can be talking to someone while noticing the sounds around me, everything happening around me. You know, I might be smiling, but at the same time already thinking of me exits. And I suppose the biggest thing I think about these days is, how am I going to feel later? You see, the motorhome has become much more than a way of travelling for me. For me, it's a familiar, safe space, especially when the outside world starts to feel overwhelming. You know, if somewhere becomes too noisy, too busy, I just know I've got this space I can go back to and just allow my head to settle. Because that's one thing I've learned, is fatigue can set in with me very, very quickly. And I will have to just have that time out. But I'm in control. I haven't got to abandon traveling. I ain't got to abandon life, knowing I've got that safe space to go back to. Because it's not about running away from life, and having a safe place can actually help me, well, take part in life. Visiting somewhere new, spending time outdoors, or simply changing my surroundings when I feel stuck. Now that is part of post-traumatic growth for me. And like I say, it does not mean the trauma was a good thing, nor I'm fixed. It means learning what I need and building a life around the understanding and continuing to move forward. Because some days growth could simply mean traveling somewhere new, or it could simply mean opening the habitation door of the motorhome and sitting outside. Now, both still count. And some days the hardest part happens before I've even left the house. An ordinary plan just can become a list of questions going on in my head. Who will be there? How busy will it be? How noisy is it going to be? If I need to leave, can I? If I get there, can I park? If I get there, can I manage it? And if I can't, then what? Now, a lot of people may think, oh, that's overthinking. But for me, it's just taking into account every possible scenario and preparing for that. Now, the chronic depression, that just adds a whole nother layer of weight. Some days just getting dressed feels like it can be a proper achievement. And I know an activity like coming down here could help, but finding the energy to actually do that is a whole nother story and can be incredibly hard, because there are times where I just want to cancel everything and close the door to the world. Why? Because staying home can feel a lot safer. But I know isolation is not good for me. It becomes a battle from hiding inside to pushing yourself to get out, be social, live life and do something in the world. And you may relate to this. Put it in the comments if you do. But one of the most tiring things is the feeling that you just cannot shut off. Because without me even consciously or knowing I'm doing it, I can be scanning my whole environment, sound, visual, smell, and anything out of the ordinary, any sudden noise can then put you on edge. And things can make it hard for you to concentrate. Crowds, unfamiliar places, if there's too much happening around you. And I may go quiet, I may need to step away, become irritable, exhausted, and often I know that now means I've taken in too much that I can comfortably manage. And that's the trouble with service, because the service taught me one thing, and that's to keep pushing through. Deal with the tasks and don't really show what's happening on the inside. And yes, them habits can be useful, but they can also become your mask. And I can push through something and appear fine. But that's what I've learned to do. The trouble is, pushing through something doesn't mean it doesn't come with a cost. So sometimes that cost can come later, when I'm feeling safe, when I'm back in a familiar place, and I come right down from being alert. The mask, it ain't about deliberately lying to people. Often it's something just to be saying I'm fine, because explaining the truth often feels complicated. You don't want people to worry, but often it's because I ain't got the words to explain it. Now, the details of our lives may be totally different, but for many people, they know what it feels like to hide their feelings, carry something privately and struggle to explain what's happening inside. And that shared human experience is part of what I want this channel to recognise. And the mask can also be a way of protecting ourselves. If I keep the conversation moving, make people laugh, no one really has to see then how difficult the day may be. And again, that is one of the reasons why I started this channel. When you're focused on a real job, when your hands are busy, you then give all that attention somewhere to go. One thing I hate, sit in a room and being asked to explain everything. Here, I can take part, contribute, and actually be useful. And there's also something about being outdoors and being around people that understand, because it can take away that pressure. I don't have to pretend or have everything sorted. Like today, I can arrive even knowing I'm having a difficult day. But what it can give me is structure, connection, and a reason to turn up. And on some days, that reason alone matters. I suppose what some people don't see is I can hold conversations, I can be getting on with activities, but it's feeling completely drained afterwards. You know, when I get back to home, back to the motorhome, sometimes I just need complete silence. I may not want to talk, my patience can be lower, and I just may need time to myself to let everything settle. Sometimes my head can stay busy even when I'm finished. And if it ain't that, then some days the depression can kick in where I can feel flat and not really want to do much at all. And of course that can confuse people because they saw me coping, they saw me smiling, but they didn't see the energy it took for the recovery time afterwards. And I'm learning to recognise the cost instead of judging myself for it. If I need to have that quiet time, if I need to rest the fatigue, I don't look at myself as a failure for it. It's simply what I need to recover from it. So when you do start going through therapy, I mean, I went through therapy for around 9 years, different types of therapy. And there's a point there where you think, hang on a minute, I've realised now it's not such a straight line. You know, the next week don't mean I'm going to be better than the week before, because you can have a run of better days and all of a sudden it just takes one knot back because something I managed last week now feels impossible this week. Plan I was looking forward to now becomes something I'm struggling to face. But that does not erase the progress you make. For me, recovery is learning what helps, understanding my limits and continuing to take small steps forward. It's turning up when I can, learning to rest when I need, and trying to not treat a difficult day as proof that I've gone back to the beginning. Because small things count. Getting out of the house counts. Going for a walk counts. Completing a practical job. Talking honestly to people. Filming like I am now, this video. Or simply making it through the day that felt heavy. I wanted to make this video because looking okay and feeling okay are not always the same thing. If you see me smiling, traveling or getting involved, that moment can completely be genuine, but there may also be a hidden cost before it, during it or after it. So today you've seen a little bit we do at Veterans in Action and things I do, usually picking up the camera, and it's all part of my recovery process. And the important part that not everyone should do what I do because it may not work for you. It's about finding your own structure, your own purpose, your own connection that can make a difference, even when the difficult parts have not gone away. And that's just something I want to quickly show you now, is we could have called this track done. The forest is now wanting to take it back. But look, what I showed you earlier, we've now got a beautiful pile of wood there. And once again, the track is restored to where it should be. Now the charity uses this for a few things. They bring their Land Rovers here, you know, driving around the track. You know, we've got different courses we run here. So it's ideal really. It's a good focus. Getting back to what I said earlier about why I'm feeling angry today. Now I believe the neighbours chucked all their cat crap out their back garden into our car parking area, with a lot of it landing on my car. So this morning I had to take that off. Now, it was hard and soft stuff, so the cat weren't going to do that overnight. So it's obviously come out of someone's garden. And of course, it was just something that made me really angry. And that is a normal response, right? However, it now affects me through the day. I'm now affected as much as I'm trying not to be. It is something that is just the forefront of my mind because I find it absolutely disgusting. And see where this parachute's gone. Absolutely disgusting. And why would you do something like that? But of course, it then starts a lot of other things and distrusting people again and all that sort of stuff. So that is for later videos. So now they've moved on from clearing that track, which was an extra task today. They're over there actually sorting out the water supply task for the corporate day. That's it. I couldn't think of the word, but for the corporate day. So it's basically getting water from one end to another via bamboo shoots. Half bamboo shoots. Actually, this is where I saw that pheasant earlier. There we are. So that's all going to happen in here. Using the little loppers there. I think they're actually making like a shelter area, pretend shelter area, and they've got to get the water from that end all the way down into the camp. Just another task they do. It's ideal, really, coming out into the woods and doing all this. Perfect. What are you going to use? A bit of tarpaulin?
No, wood.
Wood? Lean it up to it. Yeah, that's the bamboo shoots they're using. And just like the Romans did, to pass water through naturally, which would be from over this area. Now, all this area was, well, as you can see, nothing grows in this area really on the floor. And all the bluebells were growing over that way somewhere. So they've opened it up and now we're getting natural light coming in. So hopefully it'd be good for the vegetation as well, and bluebells will grow here. So let's see if we can actually find a way in via this way without stinging my leg. Because yes, I've come in shorts and trainers, typical me, and going through the stinging nettles ain't always the best thing. But yeah, we can get in from this side now, and you can see actually in the background the natural light coming through. This is just to make it a bit more realistic for when they're doing the water supply task. You know, having a base camp, an area of where the water needs to go to. It just makes more sense. There's plenty of trees that have fallen down and stuff, so there's plenty of wood we can use in here. Just to make a point with Veterans in Action, yes, it's in the title, Veterans in Action, but they do support all blue services. So if you are on a different service out there, then this is a place that may be for you. The website and everything is always in the description, and a contact number if you need to contact them. But it's an ideal place to get yourself connected again, find purpose and rebuild. And obviously I won't give the name away of the woods, but you can come down to these woods and enjoy that with the lads and lasses. So hopefully we don't get to a point where there be no more woods, because the lads do like to cut things up, and that's one of the main culprits. So all that I'm talking about today, some of it may make sense to some of you. Some of you may be learning some of it. Some of it may not make total sense at all. And you know, being the second video, I'm trying and I'm working hard within myself to create a good video for everyone to understand. Now, it ain't gonna be one video and all the pieces come together. So please stick with me, because my journey's been for a long time. I've got a lot of experience from that journey to share, and hopefully the videos will come across in that manner. But I wanted to try and open up a little bit. First video introducing the channel, second video a bit more about post-traumatic stress. And we can go into more complex stuff, post-traumatic stress, and we can go into chronic depression that can usually form alongside that. So bear with me, I'm going to be as open as I can be. These first few videos are really just to get a bit of an explanation out there, because some people may not understand what's going on inside them, or if they're looking at a family member or friend or something like that. So I'm just trying to give a little bit of understanding, a little bit of context before we really start going into the main day-to-day stuff that happens with post-traumatic stress. And also, as we get further down the line, you see a bit today with Veterans in Action, but we'll go a bit more into the post-traumatic growth, how that's come about, what that actually entails. And Billy will help me explain that a lot better. Billy's been studying it, and that's Billy McLeod, MBE. It's hard doing these raw videos, so I'm trying my best. As well, spending a bit of time down there looking at the shelter, filming the shelter for them, having a bit of banter, having a laugh. It's actually made me feel a bit better than I did this morning. So whether you're a veteran, a civilian, whether you're facing your own difficulties, supporting someone you care about, or simply want to understand, there's a place for you here. If any of this sounds familiar, just remember, you don't have to explain everything perfectly before talking to someone or reaching out to someone. It can begin with a few honest words. These are only the first few videos, and I'm going to keep sharing the videos. The videos are going to evolve as we go along, because there's too much information in my head, and I don't want to overwhelm everyone straight away on all the videos. And plus, I'm trying to keep them a little bit shorter. I am going to keep sharing the journey as it really is, and we'll go into the better days, the setbacks, the things that help, and the things I'm still learning. So I'd like to say thanks to everyone at Veterans in Action for letting me film in this lovely setting, and thank you for watching. If you'd like to follow the Journey Unmasked, please like, subscribe, and if you feel comfortable, why don't you just put in the comments something that helps with your structure, your calmness, and your purpose. I'll see you on the next one.